G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another NRL tipping video. My name's Cody, and today I'm here to bring you my round 8 NRL tips for 2024. This will also be a very special round for this week, as on the 25th of April, Anzac Day will be occurring, and there will be not one, not two, but three Anzac Day games on Thursday. 3 games on a Thursday. Could this not be more exciting? But obviously, across Australia and New Zealand, we will be celebrating Anzac Day for the people who died in World War One and World War Two. But there will be like each game this week will have the ceremonies and all that before kickoff. So it will be really very special tributes as it is for each year as well. But anyways, we're here to get into our round 8 tips. Before we do that, go through last week. Last week, I managed to get 4 out of 8 games correct. Got the first 3 games wrong. Then we managed to get the Panthers, Manly, only just. And Broncos destroyed the Raiders. And then Knights got flogged by the Dogs. I regretted it. And also, Kale Pong is also injured. And that's going to be a massive blow for the Knights. And then Sharks were too good against the Cowboys, so ultimately 4 out of 8. Not bad, but could do better. So that brings to a total of 24 out of 56. So not too bad, but I wish I could be doing better. But anyways, if you're also new around here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're on the road to 1,500 subscribers. We've just reached 1,470. Thank you all to all of those who have recently subscribed to the channel recently, and for those who have been around the channel since the beginning. But anyways, enough of me talking. Let's get into my round 8 NRL tips. And the first game, the kickoff, the first of 3 on Anzac Day on Thursday, kicking off at 2 p.m. 4 p.m. over there in New Zealand. We have the New Zealand Warriors taking on the Gold Coast Titans. Now, Warriors were appalling last week, lack of defence, as they were upset against the Dragons at WIN Stadium last week, losing 30 points to 12. The week before the Warriors had a draw and they came back from 16 points down to get to 20 points, but they were lackluster against the Dragons last week. And as for the Titans, they almost got their first win. There were there were 6 or 7 lead changes in the Manly Titans game, and Titans almost had the win. They only lost by 4 points, but I think that was their best game they've had so far. They are very desperate to get their first win still, and they will do anything to get their first win of the season. That means Des Hasler has lost his last 13 games as a head coach, as he was from 2022. He lost 7 games in a row as well, counting on that. So, wow. But just fell short of beating Manly. Now, at the moment, Warriors currently sitting 10th, and the Titans sitting dead last in 17th. Warriors are the favourites at $1.21, with the Titans at a $4.45. Now, this will only be the second time these two will clash on Anzac Day. The first time these two clashed on Anzac Day, and the only time, was back in 2015, where the Titans beat the Warriors at Mount Smart Stadium. Titans only won in a high-scoring game, 32-28. So this will be the second time in almost 10 years that the Warriors-Titans will play on Anzac Day. Now, usually Warriors take on the Melbourne, but Melbourne, I think it was, I believe they didn't want to play as the away team at Mount Smart against the Warriors, but they should have been rotating every year anyway. So at least we get a break from the Warriors Storm Anzac Day clash annual, but we'll see how these two teams will go against each other. Now, in the past 10 games between these two, it has been 5 games apiece. However, Titans have won 3 of the last 4, which have included winning 3 in a row. Now, the last time these two played, which was up on the Gold Coast, Warriors won that one 28 points to 18. And the last time the Titans beat the Warriors was in 2022 at Mount Smart Stadium, winning 27-26 from a field goal. So for this game, I think this one I think Titans will be definitely up for this one. From what we saw against the Sea Eagles, they will definitely be up for it. And like I said, they'll be in it and very desperate to get their first win of the season. But I will take the Warriors for this one. I will take the Warriors to go by 10. Scoreline will go 18 points to 8. And for a first try scorer, we'll go DWZ to score the first try. I think Warriors will bounce back after their disastrous game against the Dragons. Warriors by 10. Now we move on to our second of the Anzac Day games, the annual Anzac Day clash between the St George Illawarra Dragons and the Sydney Roosters, kicking off at 4:05 in the afternoon, taking place from Allianz Stadium, with the Dragons as the home team and the Roosters as the away team. Now, last week, Roosters went down to the Storm 18 points to 12. Even though Melbourne had 12 men on the field at one point, Roosters could have had that opportunity, but ultimately Melbourne's defence was too good and Roosters fell short, losing 18-12. And as for the Dragons, they got their 4th win of the season. They've been surprising everyone, and they only just sit one spot outside the top 8. I've been very impressed with the Dragons so far, but let's not let it slip yet. But Dragons did very well against the Warriors at Wynn Stadium last week, winning 30 points to 12. Ultimately, a great game. Great victory for the Saints down there at Wollongong. Now, obviously, these two have been clashing since 2002 on Anzac Day each year, with the exception of 2020, as that year, as in 2020, the season was suspended while Anzac Day was on, and season was suspended until start of May. So ultimately, for each year except 2020, since 2002, Dragons and Roosters have been fighting it out to see who's the better team on Anzac Day, and these two always go up against each other. Very good when it comes to the Anzac Day clashes. When it comes to the games outside of the Anzac Day clashes, however, it seems goes towards one way, and Roosters always seem to win those games outside of Anzac Day. But anyways, this will be, I believe, the 23rd clash between the two, with Dragons winning 12 and the Roosters winning 10 of the Anzac Day clashes. Now, at the moment, at the live odds, we've got the Dragons in 9th place, who are currently $2.58 outsiders, and Roosters in 11th place at $1.51. Now, in the past 10 games between these two, Roosters have won 8 of the last 10. However, Dragons have won 2 of the last 4, and last time these two played, the Dragons did beat the Roosters 24-22, but that was at Conqueror. And the Roosters, in between the last 4 games of the Anzac Day clash, Roosters have won 3 of the last 4. So it has been mainly very close, so it will make this game more interesting to watch as well. So, who do I have winning this one? As much as I want Dragons, they've been very good. And I think Roosters just fell short last week against the Dragons. And there could be some changes in the next few weeks for them too. But ultimately, as much as I want to go to Dragons for the upset, I will take the Roosters. I think they will bounce back, and because they're back at Allianz, but as the away team, obviously. So I think I'll go with the Roosters for this one. Roosters will go by 4. We'll go 24-20 as the score. And for his return game, I reckon Dominic Young will get the first try of the match. So Roosters to win by 4. I'm not surprised if the Dragons do go on to win this one as well. Roosters to win by 4. Alright, now we move on to our final game on Anzac Day. Not kicking off until 7:50 p.m. at Amy Park. I will be in attendance for this one. I'm talking about the Melbourne Storm in 2nd place, taking on the 16th place, my boys, South Sydney Rabbitohs. And yes, you heard that right. I will be going down to Melbourne for the very first time at 80 Park to go watch my boys play in Melbourne. Now, we haven't played in Melbourne since 2022. Obviously, we took on the Storm in Magic Round last year and we won that one 28-12. But this will be our first time since 2022 we will be playing in Melbourne. But yes, I will be flying down for this one on Thursday. I'm hoping it's going to be a great time. Obviously, I don't think we'll get the job done, but who knows at this stage? Anything is possible. But yes, I will be flying down, and there will be a vlog for this one. So I hope you guys will stay tuned for that. And sure, I'll have a great time regardless if the Rabbits win or lose. But anyways, last week Melbourne came off with a gritty effort against the Roosters, beating them 18 points to 12. And of course, my boys, the Rabbitohs, we had our first of 3 buys last week. I'm glad we got the extra 2 points. That's why we're in 16th and not in 17th as of right now. But the week before that, we lost for our 5th. We've lost our 5th game of the year against the Cronulla Sharks. However, we were a lot more better. We came back to play against the Sharks, but ultimately Sharks ended us in the last 10 minutes, losing 34-22 at Accor Stadium back in round 6. So yes, we still have Jason Demetrio at the moment, but I have no clue what's going to happen behind the scenes. I'm just going to forget about it for the time being until something public comes from the South Sydney Rabbitohs themselves. But anyways, kicking off 7:50 p.m. at Amy Park. This should be a good game regardless. Now, at the moment, Storm are the favourites at $1.21, and the Rabbitohs are at the same as the Titans at $4.45, which, woo, if the thing should happen, then if it does happen, then get some money on. But anyway, in the past 10 games between us and the Storm, we have Melbourne have won 8 of the last 10, which includes winning 8 of the last 10 games. However, we have the Rabbitohs have won 2 of the last 3 games versus Melbourne. First one back in 2022, where we beat them 24-12 at Accor, and then last year at Magic Ground, which I was at, we beat the Storm 28-12 in Magic Ground at Suncorp, which that's the first time we have beaten the Storm as the away side, because Melbourne was the home team for Magic Ground, but technically it doesn't count because it was a neutral game, and it was also at, not at Melbourne's main home ground. But anyways, that didn't matter. We've won 2 of our last 3 games against Melbourne, but this should be a good game regardless. So, well, I'm not going to be very confident with us winning against the Storm. I will back us to win. If we were going to win, I would go Rabbits by 4, 18-14. First try scorer, we'll go Jack Whiten. But I think, obviously, Melbourne, I think they will win this one. We have lost 18 games in a row in Melbourne, and this will be our 19th, since 1998, our 19th game in Melbourne against the Storm. So, can it be broken? I'm hoping so, but I don't think so. The way we've been playing at the moment, and it seems like we're not going to be recovering any soon. And unless I can see something here from the boys on Thursday, then I think we may lose this one. But I'll still back us no matter what. Rabbitohs to win by 4, but if Melbourne to win, I think Melbourne will win by 8. So let's go Rabbits. And if you guys are going to Melbourne, I might see you down there. Anyways, up the Rabbitohs. Now we move on to the only Friday game that is happening for round 8, because obviously we've got 3 Thursday games. Kicking off at 8 p.m. at 4 Pines Park. It's another rivalry game between these two, as these two clashed not too long ago back in round 3. We have the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles taking on the Parramatta Eels at 4 Pines Park, kicking off at 8 p.m. Now, these two did clash back in round 3 not too long ago, but Parramatta came out victors for that one, just beating Manly 28-24. However, Parramatta have gone a bit of downhill since then. And as for Manly, other than the loss to the Dragons and the Warriors, they've been doing very, very well in the last few games. But this will be a make or break game between the two. But anyways, last week Manly held on to beat the Titans 34-30 at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. And they are 1-0 against their former coach in Des Hasler. And as for the Eels, they got demolished in Darwin by the Dolphins last week. Jeez. I think they went on to lose the game like 40-something to 12 or something like that. Yep, so the score between the Eels, Dolphins and Darwin last week, Eels lost 44-16. That was a huge margin, and it seems like Parramatta may get a bit worse because they're not doing very well without Moses. Other than they got the win about 2 weeks ago against the... forgot who they played, but jeez. They're not doing very well without Moses, but anyway, we'll just move on from there. So at the moment, live odds have got Manly at $1.32 favourites, and they are in 5th place. And as for the Eels, they enter the bottom 4 in 14th place at $3.41 outsiders. Between the last 10 games between these two, Para have won 6 of the last 10 games, which includes winning 5 of the last 6, and also winning their last game against Manly, which like we said, just 28-24. Just 5 weeks ago. However, Manly have won 3 of the last 4 games against the Eels at 4 Pines Park. Last time Para won at 4 Pines Park was back in 2022, where they beat the Sea Eagles 36-20. So, who do I have winning this one? Obviously, I will favour Manly for this one. I'll go Manly to win by 16. Scoreline will go 26-10, and for a first try scorer, we'll go Ruben Garrick. So Manly to win, 13+. Alrighty, so now we move on to 2 of our Super Saturday games. First one kicking off at 5:30 p.m. at Campbelltown Sports Stadium. We have the West Tigers taking on the Brisbane Broncos, kicking off at 5:30 at Campbelltown. So last week, the Tigers did go down to the Panthers, this time at Bathurst, after they upset the Panthers, and probably the upset of the year in 2023, beating the Panthers 12-8 last year. However, this time, Panthers got them. Panthers won 22 points to 6 last Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. down there over there in Bathurst last week. And as for Brisbane, well, they killed the Raiders pretty much. They won the game 34 points to 12. They were too good in that one. They exposed the Raiders, really. But we'll get to the Raiders when we get to them. But Broncos were too good against the Raiders last week. Now, at the moment, the live odds have got the Broncos as the favourites at $1.20, and the Tigers at $4.60. Tigers currently sitting 13th. As for the Broncos, they sit comfortably in the top 8 in 6th place. Now, in the past 10 games between these two, it has been 5 games apiece, surprisingly. Because of that, because the Tigers have won 4 of the last 5 against the Broncos. However, Broncos did win the last game between these two, which was at Suncorp last year, winning 46 points to 12. And a funny stat here as well is every game the Broncos have played the West Tigers at Campbelltown, they have played 7 games against each other since 2000, other than 1 draw. The Broncos are undefeated against the West Tigers at Campbelltown. That's actually shocking, to be honest. So the Tigers have never beaten the Broncos at Campbelltown. And other than the drawback in the 2000, which I think was actually their first game ever in the NRL too. But yeah, so Tigers are looking to finally break that drought. And the last time these two played at Campbelltown was back in 2018, where the Broncos won in a terrible game, 9 points to 7. But yeah, so that's very funny. So for this one, it will be fairly straightforward. Broncos 13+. Broncos to win by 18. Scoreline will go 32-14, and for a first try scorer, we'll go Catania Stags in the centres there. And yeah, so we'll go with Catania Stags to score the first try. So Broncos to win 13+. Now we move on to our final Super Saturday game, kicking off at 7:35 p.m. up there in Townsville in Queensland at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, we have the North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Penrith Panthers. Now, Panthers managed to finally get their revenge over the Tigers, winning 22 points to 6 after they were upset against them 12 points to 8 last year, winning 22-6 at Bathurst last week. As for the Cowboys, oh boy. Didn't the Cowboys had such a terrible game against the Sharks, and saying a shocking game is an understatement. They had a disappointing and ridiculous game, losing 42-6 at points bet last week in the final game of round 7. Jeez, there's going to be a lot of headaches at the Cowboys there after that disappointing performance. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was hard to watch, especially on stream. Hey, at least they managed to get a try, at least. So, at the moment, the Panthers are currently the favourites at $1.29. They are currently in the top 4 in 4th place. Cowboys are just in the 8 at the moment in 8th place, and they are outsiders at $3.70. So, I think this will be a one-sided game here as well. So I thought this would be a close game than I thought, but Cowboys could bounce back. Who knows at this stage? Anyway, in the past 10 games between these two, Penrith have won 6 of the last 10. Both teams have won two games each in their past 4 games, with Penrith winning the last time at Bluebat, winning 44 points to 12, and that was in the last round last year. Now, this will be the 4th game these two have clash at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, with the Cowboys winning 2 and the Panthers winning 1. And the last time Penrith won at Queensland Country Bank against the Cowboys was back in 2020, where they beat them 32-12. So for this one, really speaks for itself. I'll go Panthers to win this one by 12. Nathan Cleary is expected to be playing this one, so I'll go Penrith to go by 12. 26-14 is the scoreline. The Cowboys could fight back in this one, but I don't think so. So I'll go Cowboys, Penrith to win this one, and Nathan Cleary to score a try as well. Against the Cowboys. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, I did mention a try scorer for the previous game. My bad. But yeah, Penrith to win 1-12. Alrighty, now we move on to our Sunday ticket games. The first one kicking off at 2 p.m. up in Queensland at Suncorp Stadium. We have the Dolphins taking on the Newcastle Knights. Now, last week the Knights got demolished by the Bulldogs, 36-12, and not to mention, it's been confirmed, Kalen Ponga will be out for a few months due to it's believed to be a lucific injury or something along the lines like that. So that's going to be a major and massive blow for the Knights there. And as for the Dolphins, they went on and to smash the Eels 44-16 in Darwin last week. And that was a great performance without the Hammer, as he is out for a few weeks. But great performance for the Dolphins, no doubt. But at the moment, Dolphins currently sit in 3rd place. Knights are in 15th. Dolphins are the favourites at $1.43, and the Knights are at $2.86. This will only be the 3rd clash between these two. But this will be the first time the Dolphins and Knights will play at Suncorp against each other. In the 2 games that these two have already played, Dolphins won the first time round in Newcastle 36-20, and the last time these two played, which was a high-scoring affair game, and it was a great game, all the way in perfect Optus Stadium in a doubleheader alongside Rabbitohs Sharks towards the end of last year, Knights won that 30-28. So this will be technically the first time these two played in Queensland as well. So for this one, obviously this one's straightforward as well. Dolphins to win this one by 10. Scoreline will go 20 points to 10. And for our first try scorer, we'll go Jermaine Osako to score the first try. So fins up this time. I will tip Dolphins. I should have last week, but obviously I didn't. So Dolphins in this one to win by 10. And now we move on to our final game of Anzac round 8. We are going to the nation's capital in Canberra, kicking off at 4 o'clock on Sunday. We have the Canberra Raiders taking on the Cronulla Sharks at GIO Stadium. Last week, the Sharks put on a thrashing performance against the Cowboys at PointsBet Stadium, winning 42 points to 6. And as for the Raiders, they got exposed and destroyed against the Broncos, literally in the first half, 34 points to 12. And not to mention as well, Jamal Fogarty is out for a bit, as it is expected he's got a biceps problem. So he's going to be a major blow as well for the Raiders. But then they didn't do very well in the second half with him. Even with him playing in the first half, he didn't do that well. Well, they didn't do that well either, but jeez. Raiders have been doing good, but their only good win so far this year was against the Knights. But still, it must have been heartbreaking there for the Green Machine, or the fans that went up to Canberra last week, went up to Suncorp, my apologies, last week, but not good for the Raiders. But hopefully they're back at home, so they might bounce back for this one. Now, at the moment, we've got the Raiders as the outsiders. They currently sit in 7th place at $3.21, and Sharks are obviously the favourites. Top of the table, I believe, since like 2016 or 2017, in first place at $1.35. Now, in the past 10 games between these two, Canberra have got a great record against them. Canberra have won 8 of the last 10, and which includes winning 9 of the past 11 clashes. Now, the last time the Sharks won in Canberra was in 2018, where they won 24-16 against the Raiders. The Sharks beat the Raiders 24-16. However, Sharks have won the last 2 games. Sorry, Raiders have won the last 2 games, and both been at PointsBet Stadium. These two did clash at PointsBet not too long ago. I think that was in round 3 as well, with the Sharks going out on that one, 36 points to 22. So, who do I have winning for this one? I think this will be a close game, but I will take the away side. I will take Cronulla to win this one. I think for what they did against the Cowboys, I think they're just going to shine. I've been wrong about the Sharks this year, and I think some people are as well, but they've been outstanding. Only the 1 loss and the 5 wins. Unbelievable. Wait, no. Yeah, 5 wins because they've had a bye. So I'll go to Sharks to win this one by 10. Scoreline will go 26-16. And for our first try scorer, we will go William Kennedy. And the team that has the bye this week is the Bulldogs. After they destroyed the Knights last week, they deserve the 2 points. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude my round 8 Anzac round day tip. Anzac round tips of 2024. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, but we've got to get to 1,500, and I hope we can get there by the end of next week. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like the video, and I will be in Melbourne. I'll be flying down on Thursday at some point, and then I'll be there in the crowd there somewhere. So if you're there, you might come find me. But with that, and there will be a vlog as well, obviously. But anyways, with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Good luck with your tips this week, and there will be a few streams, but probably not till Saturday, because obviously I've got to get back. I'll be back on Friday or Saturday, whichever. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care for now.